I promised to walk you through the success stories of our customers. But before that, I wanted to give you a little bit more of a context. So just let's zoom out for the moment to understand from where we are coming from. As you know, Woodpecker is a SaaS business. So we rely on month-to-month recurring customers. And because of that, it means that our customers every month take a decision that they want to stay, meaning they want to still pay us. And to be very honest, it's like every month the customer decides to renew the subscription, meaning this is like every month purchase decision again and again. Okay, so if you look at our customer base, and we exist on the market for over 8 years, we have customers that stayed with us for over 6 years. It means that for 6 years, every month, the person takes a decision to stay. It's a 6 years of again and again taking up this decision, and what is most important, 6 years of getting results out of the process because the person decides to stick and to keep it. And the purpose of telling you the whole story about like customers being with us for 6 years and all about that is not to say, hey, that's so cool and we are so cool in here, so customers stick with us. It's actually to show you that the process, if you do it right on a repetitive basis, can bring you wonderful results to the extent that you can actually put it in your day-to-day business activity in a way that covers the costs, plus give you extra revenue on the top of that. I wanted actually to show you that this repetitive process means that you can actually learn how to do it in your organization. And I can almost guarantee that if you follow the steps from this course, you'll get there. Just since 2019, our customers have been able to generate over 18 million replies by using Woodpecker. Like, can you imagine 80 million replies? Honestly, a lot. Some of our biggest lead generation agencies generated over 1 million replies. And besides just lead generation business, we have companies that generated for their business over 100,000 replies just for their own business. Okay, so when you have so many replies, that's one thing, but then closing the deal and bringing the actual customer to your company is something slightly different. So let's dig into that a little bit. For long enough, I would say, we've been analyzing what is the true metric of a success, and that's usually a positive reply. So when we talk about lead, we'll count it as a positive reply generated by your campaign, because this is something what ultimately will lead you to receiving a customer that is ready to buy whatever you're offering. Okay, guys, so let's look at some benchmarks that we have. For the US market, we have customers who generated over 100,000 positive replies, meaning leads. And then our top performing customers were able to generate over 400,000 positive replies. Can you actually imagine like 400,000 positive replies? That's a lot. That's something to work with. Okay, so looking at our data from 2021, every year our customers were able to generate from 350,000 to 500,000 leads. Like, can you imagine the scale of that? And I know that numbers like this can be really hard to imagine. So let's take a closer look at the campaigns of our customers just to give you a little bit of insight on what was there and how they work. And the first campaign I wanted to show you, it was something that actually asked for a little bit of a budget on the side of a customer. So it asked prospect for a little bit of something in exchange for engaging with the campaign. So let's see how it performed. And this particular campaign was sent to the US market, and in total it generated over 1,000 leads. So in that particular case, if we estimate the price per lead, that would be actually below $1. And if you think about the fact that US market is quite tough, so we're talking about quite saturated market, that's really something that is meaningful. And guys, we are talking about 28% reply rate in here. Okay, so let's go through the next campaign. This is from SalesSpace. So here with this campaign, our customer was able to generate over 1,200 leads, which translated to 47% reply rate. Take a deeper look and just see that this is not actually some micro campaign. This is like over 4K engaged prospect campaign. So this is like the process that you just plug and play and you let Woodpecker scale it through. And when you have this type of automation, what you may actually focus on is closing this 1,200 leads that you just get. Here you can see another example. This time this is from German market. One of our customers operated there. And the industry in this campaign is quite tough because we are talking about logistics, which is again quite saturated. It's not the easiest go-to niche. And even though our customers were able to generate over 100 leads with this campaign. Okay, so the next campaign is pretty interesting one. This is from the education space. And education is this one that I would say may be a little bit tough in terms of cold emailing, because this is the niche that you can feel to rely on phone mostly, yet cold emailing can bring you reliable results in that niche as well. And the CTA from this campaign, with a permission to send a little bit more info about their offer, ended up with 43% of reply rate. And that's not it. This 44% is one part, but there is 25% of positive reply rate. And I would say that's something to be proud of. So bigger campaigns is one thing, but some of our customers are running so-called micro campaigns. And here you can see like truly crazy example with 95% reply rate. 95, let's leave it to sink in for a moment. And 95% reply rate is one thing, but you can see that actually it resonates with the audience because there is 65% positive reply rate in here. Okay, so now let's do the last round of examples, because cold emailing will have different benchmarks and different results based on particular factors like niche, targeted audience, market size, and all stuff that are around that. And since the very beginning at Woodpecker, we had a lot of recruitment customers. So anything that is related to that niche, we know that usually brings very good results. And you know, with recruitment, the thing is that usually they offer true value because they offer a job to a person. So it translates also to the results that they can drive out of campaigns. And now 49% of reply rate with 37% of positive reply rate. So for this particular niche, even bigger campaigns can generate very good results. And let's take a look at this particular example with over 200 prospects. And then out of this campaign, the customer is getting 30% reply rate with almost 54% of positive reply rate. Okay, so now the last example of niche that can perform really well with cold emailing, which is influencer marketing segment. Okay, so in this case, it's particularly win-win-win situation. You as an agency provide the value to the prospect, which is the influencer, by showcasing them the potentially new income stream that they can get. And then for the brand, you help to build exposure for the brand. And now for yourself, you actually run something with extremely high engagement potential, which means it's good for your deliverability. So for this particular customer, we have a campaign with over 2,000 of influencers. And out of that, we get this crazy result of 34% of reply rate with 71% of positive reply rate. And bear in mind, this is your US market that I mentioned is quite saturated. You may encounter cases that you don't get this type of results worldwide. So that's something to be proud of. Okay, so we went through a lot of examples. And I truly feel it that was a lot of examples. And the purpose of that was to give you a little bit of a perspective. What type of results you can expect from your cold emailing campaigns. And those are actually real campaigns. I mean, like physically sent recently from Woodpecker. But I get you may not be convinced yet by this point. So let me show you some ROI-based examples. We will dive deeper into costs and into how effective that may be from a financial perspective for you to run cold email campaigns. And I promise to give you a little bit more on that in the next lesson.